All right. Do you feel better or worse about the Indianapolis Colts offense? I think Jim Bob Cooter is a good offensive coordinator. The Colts have scored 20 points in each of their 11 games. They are 8-3. 8-3 is pretty damn good. But this team is not going to be judged based upon 8-3. This team and this offense will be judged based upon the next 6, 4 of which are against AFC South opponents who could join the Colts in vying for that AFC South championship. Can Jim Bob Cooter get this thing right enough to beat the Texans' ass? Here's Jim Bob Cooter.
What do you think has led to some of the issues with blitzes in the last couple of weeks after you guys were really good kind of through the first 8 games in that area?
Yeah, each opponent presents unique challenges. And, kind of said it last week, Spags and those guys at the Chiefs have, for many, many years created blitz issues for opponents. And it's not always a matter of, figuring out what they're doing during the week and then going out and blocking that blitz up. It's adjusting in game to the different things that he's drawn up for what he's seen out of your scheme throughout the year. And he does such a good job and has done such a good job for so long. Just presents issues for the offense that we work to, schematically fix, or sometimes it's just a communication and identification thing that we have to do a really, really good job of. And, that Arrowhead Stadium environment makes that difficult. So it's just it's a scheme and a situation that forces us to, be at our absolute best to pick up that pressure. And all things are involved: communication, identification, and then just sort of schematic plan by us. Then ultimately we got to block them, right? Don't forget about that. They got good players, and they did a nice job with some of those in the game on Sunday.
James.
Jim Bob, when it comes to JT, obviously hindsight's 2020. You look back at certain things, maybe you do something different or not. But how do you try to keep him involved when everyone's going to be gunning for the league's best running back?
Yeah, well, we hope we're an offense that threatens a defense in many ways. But sure does sound like every time you ask an opposing defensive coordinator, an opposing head coach, defensive coordinator, they start off talking about stopping the run, don't they? That's kind of what a lot of those guys will say. It's a major part of NFL football. It's a major part of our offense. The run game and the pass game are both very, very important, and we're not gonna, get where we want to get without both those things being, really active threats to the defense and things that we can do well. You want to do them well every week. You want to have success every week, and JT's gonna keep toting it, and we're gonna sort of keep giving him opportunities and try to put him in the best possible position. Each defense has different ways they try to stop the run game or attack the run game or limit the run game, and it's our job to counteract those things and fight right back. Right, we had a nice explosive down the sideline on one of those, and we're looking to find more opportunities to get JT into that space, and I know he is as well, because he's so special when we get him going. So JT playing really good football. We'll keep working to play really good football as an offense, and that'll be good for us overall.
Steven.
Hey, Jim Bob. This year, you guys have enjoyed so much success offensively, and Daniel specifically has also enjoyed that success. Now you've had a couple games lately where you start to get questioned, and you fall short of the standard you created this year. How do you think? I know this answer, but I need you to say it. How do you think Daniel will kind of deal with that situation? It's a little different, right? I mean, now there's questions about you. You got to step up, and you got a tough stretch run coming up. So how do you think he'll sort of confront that?
Yeah, I think he's everything I've seen out of Daniel Jones. He's a man that handles adversity well. He's very consistent. He's very dependable. That the nature of this business is, adversity, getting through it, coming out the other side, and where does that leave you? As a coach, as a player, all of us are going to work through our good games, our bad games. The quarterback position, you get your praise, and then you get the opposite, whether you're winning or you're losing or your numbers are a certain way or another way. So he's working the exact same way. He's working his tail off around here. I think he's probably going to keep continuing to put that work in and go about his business. And, whether it's a meeting, a walkthrough, a practice, any of those things, he's been extremely dependable, consistent, reliable. I don't see any sort of adversity throwing that off, but it's a good, this part of the year in an NFL season, you have some adversity. You play some road games, you play some home games, you play different opponents that are at different points in their season, and it's not going to be all clean and easy, and you're not going to sort of have those dream games every game where you blow a team out or any of those types of things. So we're going to have our positives, our negatives. Bunch of learning opportunities for us to clean up, and Daniel's going to handle it just fine, I think.
Thanks.
Jim Bob, I know a lot has this Houston defense is one of potentially the best unit in the league. When you look at them in particular, what is maybe the one or two things that really stands out about their strengths on that defensive unit that you guys?
Yeah, good question. We've been, it's our third year here. It's their third year there, and been battling against them for a few years, and also watching them build this defense. They've got a lot of really good players. Let's start with the players. They got a lot of really good players on this defense at all three levels. The front is phenomenal. A couple great edge guys sort of lead the way there. At the second level, those guys fly around. Those backers fly around, and they don't really slow down. Try to assess the situation. They are going when they see something, they fly to what they see, and they're very aggressive with how they handle it. And then the secondary has done such a great job covering people, taking the ball away, and then still hitting guys. It's a defense that flies around. They play fast. They play aggressive. They're going to play physical. It's a really good challenge for us. They're playing great team defense right now. It's going to be a fun game on Sunday. We're happy to be back in Lucas Oil. I'm sure the fans are happy to have a home game. Been a little bit. Going to be a fun matchup.
And then a follow-up. I know this is kind of in a similar direction to Joel's question, just asking about blitz and pressure situations. I know that you've mentioned often that you feel like each game kind of offers its own unique challenges, or each defense offers its own unique strengths. Have you seen anything over these last three games, even though they are individual in their own right, that even if you can't give specifics, like have you started to notice teams attack you guys at all in a similar way that would give you guys a trend, and maybe also offer you guys an opportunity to say, like, this is one thing that guys are seeing in us, so we need to fix that one specific area? Or have all of them attacked you guys a little bit differently?
Well, I think schematically, it's a good question. I think schematically, the last several opponents all have, different schematic ways that they like to pressure the quarterback. Speaking of the last three, I think you brought up three: Steelers, Falcons, Chiefs, right? Three really different schematic plans, whether you're that vaunted Pittsburgh Steelers defense. A lot of times they're rushing five. They have some different blitz schemes. The Atlanta Falcons have some, really aggressive overload pressures that tend to show up on certain downs and distances. They're really going to make you sort of answer the bell those downs and distances. And then the Chiefs, there's a lot of that sort of all-out cover zero style blitz where you have to be ready for it at any point. They're able to get to it fairly quickly. So schematically, I would say we faced different challenges. There are things we're working on as an offensive coaching staff and as an offense overall to improve that whole thing. It does all work together: protection in the pass game, getting open on time, getting the ball out on time, and then blocking up a blitz or just blocking up a rush, 4 or 5 man rush. Those things are all important. We've played a couple road games, those loud road environments, being able to communicate really, really well so that we're executing really, really well. It's a classic NFL challenge in those environments, but, something that, all teams work to do a little bit better as they get more reps at it. So we're working on improving. This team this week has a different set of challenges. It just is what it is in this league. They evaluate our tape. They try to attack what they see, and we evaluate theirs. And the set of maybe the favorite rush patterns or the favorite blitz patterns tends to be different each week, but sometimes there are some similarities. We're looking to just improve our process of preparing for those things. And then ultimately, as a coaching staff, I'm trying to do as good a job as I can do, and we're trying to do as good a job as we can do to put our guys in the best chance to succeed in those scenarios.
Awesome. Thanks.
Joel, last question.
When you look at the season Josh Downs is having, what sticks out to you?
Yeah, it's been a year where the ball has gone to different guys in different games in different areas. Josh is playing good football. The nature of some of the games we've played, sometimes we've played a few more 2 receiver sets and 3 receiver sets. Josh is in several of those, but sometimes there's not a slot receiver position in some of those sets. So each week is a different sort of game plan for Josh. He attacks his game plan as well as anybody on our roster. He's really studying how to get open versus opponents, what depth to be at, what split to be at, how this DB is going to play him, and even how to run in open space when he gets the ball. So Josh is going about his business the right way. His process is really, really good. I think that'll lead to long-term really good results. Each week's going to be a little bit different for each of our skill guys. I've talked about that a bunch of times, but we're real happy with Josh. Looking forward to a good finish to the season for him.
This Jim Bob Cooter, you feel better about this offense or worse about this offense based upon what he had to say? You know what you're going to get. When Jim Bob Cooter talks to the media, you're not going to get, again, a lot of specificity. He's not going to come in and say, you know what, we got to run JT 35 times. He's not going to say, we got to target Josh Downs 12 times. He's not going to say any of that stuff, and he's right not to say that stuff. What he does know is you got to keep Daniel Jones clean, and you got to open holes at least occasionally for Jonathan Taylor, or you got a problem at Lucas Oil Stadium this Sunday because that defense of the Texans is coming for your soul.